And she said, there's no way you could have known that. Wow. She said, I didn't let anybody know that I had done that.
Wow.
And that's because she was embarrassed about what she did.
First call is coming from area code 254. You're on the air. How you doing?
It's Wonder Woman.
Yes, of course. How you doing, Wonder Woman?
I was going to call about the statement that I made a while ago about seeing my mother before I was born.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about that. Oh,
yeah.
This was when I was older. We were grown, and we were at my mother's house. My brother, I had two brothers and a sister, and we were all there. And we were just joking around about some of the places that we lived. And we lived in some old houses that were usually had to be fixed up, you know. Well, my two brothers and sisters were all born like 1 year apart. And I came last 6 years later. Oh. So I was probably a surprise. But so, but they were talking about this one particular house, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's the house where Mother painted the kitchen floor green, a really dark green." And my mother looked at me real funny, and just kind of cocked her head, and she said, "How would you know that kitchen floor was green?" She said, "You weren't even born yet, and we moved away from there before you were born."
Ooh.
And I said, "Well, I saw you paint the floor." And she said, "No, you couldn't have." And I'd never been back to that house ever. And I told her, I said, I was standing up on top of, or looking down at you from on top of the top cabinet. And I said, I was watching you on your hands and knees as you were putting that paint on the floor. And she just turned a really weird color. I said, "Well, you painted yourself into a corner and you couldn't get out of it without walking back over the paint." And she said, "There's no way you could have known that." Wow. She said, I didn't let anybody know that I had done that.
Wow.
And
that's cool.
Because she was embarrassed about what she did. And so she painted herself back out of the kitchen, and it was kind of a cool time of the year, and she had the heaters on, and she had the windows open, but she had all of us kids lay down for a nap, and she was tired. She laid down in the bedroom, had all of us kids on the bed there, and she said that they all went to sleep. She said that I started kicking in her belly. She woke up and was real groggy, and the paint fumes had gotten into the bedroom. Ooh. And she had to get everybody out of the house real quick and turn the fire out. And she said, if you hadn't been kicking so hard and woke me up to wake the others up, we might have all died that afternoon.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's incredible.
And she started crying. She started crying. She said, there's no way you could have known about that floor.
That's amazing.
I said, well, I did. I was up there, up real high, looking down at her, doing it.
Hey, Brad, it's Lane.
Hey, Lane, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm doing good. The Bone Hoe says hi.
Well, hello to the Bone Hoe as well.
Anyway, I've got a couple of stories that happened to me. I've been off all week, but the 2 weeks before I got off, before I had vacation here. And, I drive a bus, and they were both in the bus. And I I connect two counties together.
Okay.
So one end is in the city part, and the other end is out in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Oh, okay.
Out in the woods. What I call the LBB, land of Bigfoot and banjos.
Okay.
So that's where I drive out there in the LBB. And so I'm leaving at 6:35 in the morning. So it's 6:35 and it's light out. And the sun's just coming up over the trees. And so I'm probably doing 15 miles an hour, just getting started through the light. And there's this super bright light. I mean, like hurt your eyes, bright light. Okay. So I look at it and go, what the heck is that? And I'm thinking, oh, the sun is, reflecting off of something.
Sure.
Which is weird because the sun was coming up on the other side of it.
Ooh.
So it's facing west.
Uh-huh.
So it was a light. It wasn't, a reflection. And so I thought, what the heck is that? So now I'm doing like 5 miles an hour, and it's a 50-mile-an-hour road. So I pull over, and I'm staring at this thing. And if you think about an isosceles triangle, so it's about 150 yards up and 150 yards away from me. And so I pull over and I'm staring at this thing and I can't see it very well because the light is so bright coming off this thing. It's about the size of a pickup.
Ooh.
And I could see like feet, like legs coming out from the bottom to land on. It kind of looked like one of those, when they had the old Apollos and they landed on the moon. Yeah. It kind of looked like what they landed on the moon with. Oh. But it's about the size of a pickup.
Wow.
Just over the trees. Okay. And so I'm looking at this thing, and all of a sudden, poof, it was gone.
Oh, my God.
At first, I thought, oh, maybe it's a drone.
Right.
And I go, not that big. I don't know anybody who can afford a drone, especially out in the LBB. It's not, real richy out there.
Right. Yeah, you're on the sticks.
Yeah.
That's interesting because now, when it disappeared, did you see it travel or did it just like it blinked out of existence?
No, I came out of the transfer center, and you have to come to a light, and then you have to make a left. And make a right, and as I made my right, there's a huge clearing where there's a great big church and some other buildings and stuff. And that's when I saw it. And what I saw was the light. The light had hit me right in the eyes.
Right.
So I don't know if it was trying to hit me in the eyes or if it's just the way it was. But
right.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre.